Hi all, it's 24th of September. Just making another short video about a problem we got with our Auto-Sleeper Broadway Motorhome. We've just been away for a few days. We went to the Loire Valley in France. Had intended going for a fortnight, but unfortunately we had to cut the trip short because our dog was taken ill. Unfortunately she was diagnosed with cancer recently, and she had an operation, etc., and we thought she was okay to travel. We had her checked out by the vet, etc., before we went, and the vet thought she'd be okay, but unfortunately we noticed on the journey down there that she was deteriorating, so we cut the journey short and returned back home. She's doing okay at the moment, but it's not looking good. But the reason for doing this video is I had a problem with the sink while we was away. The sinks are made by a company called Plas Tech. Auto-Sleepers obviously source these components and fit them, but these sinks are paper thin. Our last motorhome, Auto-Sleeper New Avo, had exactly the same problem. We had to have a new basin fitted, but it went so easily. I was actually shocked how easily that broke. I just put the plug in like that, and it just popped. I heard a pop noise. I thought, what the hell is that? Next thing I know, there was water all over the floor, because what happens, that obviously broke and it's gone in there and down and onto the floor. But I just wanted to point out to people just how thin these sinks are. I think that's shocking that Auto-Sleepers don't insist the manufacturer make these better. I mean, there might be a reason why they make them so thin, but that raises a question with me that they're not fit for the purpose. I mean, just putting in a plug without any force, just literally putting it in. I mean, you just drop it in the hole, give it like a slight put. I mean, you can see then how that's flexing down, look. And then you run your water, but as soon as that went in, it just popped and broke. And it's just so thin, look. It's like a sheet of paper. I mean, how can that be adequate for use in a motorhome? I mean, if you had a plastic bath at home and you put the sink plug in, you know, put the plug in the sink hole, and the bloody bath broke around the plug hole, you wouldn't be very happy, would you? It's the same kind of principle. I don't see why it should be any different in a motorhome. Also, what worries me is the floor is the same. We've got these sink holes in the shower floor. There's two of them, one in each corner, and also in front of the toilet. There's one there which gets quite a bit hard. That gets stood on every time you use the toilet. So I'll put a piece of packing foam in there, a bit of styrofoam, underneath the mat, which hopefully will cushion that and prevent that from breaking in the future. But the point is I'm trying to make, you shouldn't have to tiptoe about and you know, worrying that you're going to break things or things are going to crack. I mean, they should be up to the job, and they clearly aren't. So Plas Tech, you should make your equipment to a better standard. And Auto-Sleepers, I'm surprised because nearly all their motorhomes have these swing walls fitted. Our new Avo, we had new basin fitted, but we had a hell of a job getting that done. Spinneys did it in the end. They managed to source a second-hand basin and they replaced it. Of course, that's never the same, because they said that you can only buy the complete swing wall, and I can't remember now how much the price was, but that was an astronomical price. You know, I think that was something like over £1,000 or something crazy. But in the end, they just managed to get hold of a sink and fit that. So I'm not even going to bother going to Auto-Sleepers over this. I'm just going to try and fix it. I'm going to get some epoxy putty and get in underneath and try and reinforce it all and fix it myself. I just can't be arsed going back, you know, trying to get it fixed, and you know, all the expense and hassle and inconvenience again. It seems like every time we go away there's something that happens, and you know, you just get fed up of it. I really am getting fed up of it. You know, sink that's not really been used much. I mean, we went away in March last year for March this year, sorry, for a couple of weeks. We've done a couple of motorhome shows. We did the Norwich one, the Norfolk Motorhome show, and we did the Peterborough one, I believe. Other than that, we haven't been anywhere. You know, it hasn't been used. I think we only had 2 holidays in it the year before. We went to Italy, and that's when we had the fridge pack up on us. So it seems like every time you use these motorhomes, you're going to have a problem of one sort or another, which, you know, doesn't seem to bother some people, but it does me. You've got to have big pockets for one thing, because all these things cost a fortune to get fixed. And there's all the inconvenience of travelling around, going back to the service centre, you know, at the factory to get it fixed, or finding someone who's competent to do it. And 9 times out of 10, when you have the work carried out, you're not happy with it anyway, or I certainly aren't. Perhaps I'm hard to please, but I don't think so. I think I'm just perhaps a bit fussier than some other people. But you know, you buy a motorhome, 50 or 60,000 pound, and it seems like you have to put up with these kind of things. So anyway, I just wanted to post a video. Auto-Sleepers will probably say that's down to misuse or neglect. I can assure you that's not. I'm not a clumsy person. I treat everything with care and respect. Like I say, we have to tiptoe about in here because we're so petrified of the floor cracking or something getting damaged. So that's not the case at all. It's just purely not fit for the purpose. And Auto-Sleepers still fit these. They go in their flagship models. So if you've got one, I would be very wary. In fact, I would open up the back and reinforce it, make it more stiffer and rigid and thicker, with some fiberglass mat or some epoxy or whatever, to avoid the same kind of thing happening to you, because that's not a cheap repair, trust me. So anyway, just a word of caution to people out there who have this kind of set up in their Auto-Sleeper motorhome. Okay, thanks for watching. Sorry for the moaning once again, but these things just keep happening, I'm afraid. Okay, thank you, bye.